Hi, I just wanted to create a short video to talk about the last 3 assignments that are coming up. And I just wanted you to say hello to my little Xena. She's a little chihuahua, so she's helping me work from home today. So this is Xena. So she just sits beside me while I work. There, put her down. Okay, so the final 3 assignments. So this week you were doing an APA quiz, so that's online, and some of you have completed that, so thank you. The next assignment that's coming up is next week in week 12 is the article critique, and I'm going to go over it in a minute. So it's worth 10%, and it's following the assignment that you did on your APA cover page and your formatting of your reference page. So that's part 2 of that assignment. Week 13, we do not have an assignment. That week is dedicated to give you time. You'll notice when you open that folder, it's really small, so there's not a lot of content in there. There is a post-course little survey I'd like you to do, but it's really, that week is dedicated to help you get that final career presentation completed. And it's worth 15%, and it's going to go on a blog so other students can appreciate your hard work. And then there's just a final reflection. So I was just going to take a moment and go over those. But since I have Blackboard open, I'm just going to start, if you don't mind, I'm just going to start with the final reflection. It's worth 5%. And you'll just click on it at the very bottom. And if you can notice here, you're going to consider some things. It's just submitted to me, so no one else reads this. So this is just between you and I, so it's just personal. Highlights of your learning in this course. So what were you taking away from this course? What are some things that you have learned? How your studying or your learning strategies have changed as a result of taking this course. So that would be another thing to reflect on. Your experience taking an online course. For some of you, this was your first experience. So I want you to reflect on it. Are there things that you would do differently next time? If you take another online course, what would you do the same or what would you do differently? And then the final one is your goals as you continue to improve your study and learning strategies. What are your goals that you want to still work on in semester 2? So that's that part. All right, so let me just go over the article critique. So this article critique is worth 10 marks. So you have your article already because you referenced it in your reference page, and it's the ability, this assignment is the ability to give you an opportunity, to demonstrate your ability to analyze a scholarly paper. This is a really important skill as you become a healthcare provider, because our practice, so my practice as a registered nurse, my practice or anything I did in my work and I made a change, it was always based in evidence. So we need to be able to evaluate evidence and be able to pull out the key information in papers. So if you're going into nursing, going into paramedic, dental hygiene, you're going to be required to research and write scholarly essays. So you need to be able to analyze and critique the works of others to put into your papers. So that's why we're practicing this. It's submitted in Blackboard, of course, on week 12. And so you've chosen the article. And then the first thing you're going to be doing is to summarize the article. This is at least a page. So if your summary is not half a page, you probably don't have enough detail. So it's a summary. And where you find the summary is in the abstract, the introduction, skip through past the methodology usually, and then you'll find discussions and findings at the end. That's where you're going to take the majority of information to summarize the paper. And then you're going to be answering some questions. So what is the main thesis of the paper? So the main thesis is the purpose. Why did the authors write this paper? Why did they take the time to write it? And it's usually found in the first couple of paragraphs. It's usually at the end of the first paragraph, but in longer scholarly articles, sometimes it doesn't show up till the second. So find the main thesis. Then you're going to look for and discuss, discuss the main findings, conclusions, and arguments that the authors presented. So this is where you're going to go to the back of the paper where they've got discussion, findings, conclusions. After the methodology, they'll report on that, so you can discuss that. This next question is a personal question for you. What did you learn? New or deeper insights that you gained from reading this article. So what did you learn after reading about learning strategies or first year college success? What did you develop? Knowledge did you develop? So this is done in a paragraph, and it's very personal. So I'm not judging what you're writing as far as if your insight is right or wrong. I'm looking for content and that you have enough information and detail. The next one, this one is called, so this question is about questions. And as you're reading, think about what questions did this author, what did it raise for you as you started to read? What questions? And this question, section D, you're just going to list those questions. So I wonder why they only interviewed girls, or why, I wonder if they had done the study in Canada, if it would be the same as the result in the UK. So just any questions that came up for you, just list them. That's all. You don't have to answer them. You're just going to list them. This is going to help you with the next question. That's the hardest question. And this is about challenge. What would you challenge about what the author said? Would you challenge, maybe they didn't have enough references for their research? Maybe the references are really old. Maybe they only interviewed 10 people. Maybe you noticed a bias from the author. So you're going to think about, as you're reading, what would you challenge? We're not just going to read and take everything face value and believe it is truth. So what would you challenge? If you read it and really realize that there's nothing I would challenge, this is an awesome paper, they did great research, it's well researched and presented, then please write about why you wouldn't challenge it. What did they do in the paper that convinced you that it's sound and you wouldn't challenge it? So that's what that question's about. So I'm not going to lie, this is probably the hardest one. So of all of them, that question E is a little bit harder and takes more time to think. The last one is easier because this is about you. How would you relate what you read to your experience as a first-year college student? So that's what you're going to write about. So that's the whole assignment, is a summary paragraph, and then you're going to write these answers here. You don't have to use the other articles to reference. These are just question and answer, so it's not an essay. You can just write the question and answer, write the question out and answer it underneath. That would be totally fine. So that's what you're going to do for the critique. The rubric is at the bottom, how it will be marked, and it's out of 10 marks for that, and you'll submit it on Blackboard. So hopefully that's helpful. The next one is your final presentation, and it's your career, it's your visual presentation. I'll just make it a bit bigger there. So it's really a culminating assignment because it's applying the principles of career planning, but also taking all the self-assessments that we've been doing throughout the course, your learning style inventory, employability skills, values, your Myers-Briggs that you did, and you're putting all of those together and linking how your personality, your values, your learning style fit with the career that you're planning in the future. So that's what this is about. You'll be posting it on a blog. The reason we're posting it on a blog is so other students can read it. Most assignments are submitted just to me because we don't want everyone to read your work, but this one is posted on a blog, so you'll be able to see other students' posters through Prezi or through PowerPoint. The reason for this is someone might have done a presentation on ultrasound technologist, and you may never heard of that before, so you'll get to read about it and find more information. There could be other people that wrote about pediatric nursing, and you wrote about geriatric nursing, so you could learn from each other. So that's the purpose of that. I have lots of supporting documents you'll find in the week 12 folder, and also chapter 11 in your textbook has some help as well. Plus, in B110 in the college, we have a career center, and there's lots of support there as well. Pat Roberts is our contact, and she'd be happy to meet with you if you need any help with that as well. So the presentation will be done electronically. You don't have to have any audio with it. It's just going to be slides. You can use Prezi or PowerPoint, whichever one you prefer, and it's submitted the very final week. So that week, we don't have any content to work through. All you're going to be doing is submitting this. And week 13, to support the work on this, there's not a lot of work to do in week 13 as well. So what the poster, and I'm going to post a few samples, I'll post a sample PowerPoint so you can see what one looks like. But we're using the POWER acronym. And the first part is to prepare, and this is the section where you're going to look at your core values, and I have an activity on Blackboard for you to do that. Take 3 to 5, define what those values are for you personally, and then talk about how they align with your career goal. So if it's nursing and you value collaboration, how does that help as a nurse to work collaboratively on a team, on a healthcare team? So that would be an example. The next one is organize. So what's your goal? This is where you're going to do some research and introduce your career. This is really going to help the other students as they look at your presentation to learn a little bit more about other healthcare careers. The next part, this is about what does the data say? This is about statistics, trends, data, any numbers that you can find related to your career. This will really help as you're doing your research. There's lots of places, I put lots of web links where you can find information on that. This next part is worth the most. It's worth 5 marks because there's 3 components to it. Your Myers-Briggs results, those 4 letters, ENFP or whatever they were, are going to, your personality will go here, and talking about how they fit with your career. Your learning style, how does your learning style influence your career choice? If you're a kinesthetic learner and you really like a fast pace, you like to move, and that might be a great fit with paramedic, so you can talk about how that fits. And then the last part here is employability skills, and this is, I've got a survey you can do online to find out what your employability skills are that you have now. How would they benefit the career that you're choosing? I don't care what order these go in the slides. I'm just looking for the content. So whatever flow you think would work, that's perfectly fine. The last little piece is a concluding reflecting note. And this is about, are you more or less convinced that this is right for you? If this is too personal, please just put it in a note to me. Just email me. If you don't mind other people reading it, then please put it in your PowerPoint or Prezi. That's totally up to you, but I don't want you to feel that take away from your presentation if you feel that that's too personal. And then the final is just creativity, and that's basically just that you laid it out and it's easy to read and the font isn't too small, that kind of thing. So that's the final presentation. So there's 3 coming up. So the next one that's coming up is the article critique, and then you've got the career presentation and the final reflection that's due in the last week. So hopefully that's helpful, and if you have any questions about these, please email me. I'd be happy to talk to you about those. And again, all the details of these assignments are under assignments and tests, and you'll see the if it comes up here it's thinking, you'll see the chart when everything is due, and at the very bottom these last 3 assignments are right here for you to access with the details in each one. Okay, so I hope that's helpful, and I'll look forward to reading your work. And as always, you can please email me, or if you want to FaceTime, I'd be happy to do that. Okay, bye.